Welcome back to Random City Sports Ballers. This is my final draft of the season. This is a $100 league, Yahoo Pay League. I got lucky. I got third pick, so I'm very happy with that. So if you know me, looks like I'm going to have Aaron Judge with my first pick. If not, Jose Ramirez will be my first pick. So let's get ready to do this. I got 20 minutes until the draft, so let's have fun with it, fellas. Random City Sports Ballers, coming at you, third pick, $100 league. Yeehaw! So yeah, I'm excited about third pick. My draft position has been all over the place for this draft season. You know, I've had just about every pick there could be. And third pick, that's my favorite spot. You know, I could handle second, first. Third is great because I get my second round pick a little bit earlier than if I was the first pick. There are some folks speculating that Trey Turner could see 65 to 70 stolen bases this year. That would be impressive. I think the last time we saw anything like that, I believe it was around 2007, 2008 maybe, when Jacoby Ellsbury had 70. And that's the result of the new rules. They've moved the bases. It's only a few inches that they moved the bases closer together. So the larger bases. And with the pitch clock, the fact that they can only throw to first base, the pitcher can only throw to first base twice to try to pick off the leadoff right there, means that Trey Turner is going to get a little bit of a lead. And that right there, fellas, is one of the fastest guys in baseball, and he is excellent at stealing bases. Don't sleep on Trey Turner if he comes to you. Now, bear in mind, that thing about stolen bases, the bases being closer together, the pitch clock, the two throws to first base, that right there is going to affect everybody who steals bases. So Julio Rodriguez should steal more bases. Jose Ramirez, Kyle Tucker, Mookie Betts. If a person steals bases, they're going to steal more. Heck, Aaron Judge might double his stolen bases this year. Well, I fixed my lighting a little bit. I was a little dark. We didn't have this normal sunlight going on, so I turned on some lighting. Now, I don't know about you all, but I am ready for fantasy baseball to start. I'm ready for the baseball season to get underway. I'm ready to start watching some games, seeing some plays. I look forward to what happens this season, even though my favorite team, the Detroit Tigers, not likely to make the playoff scenario, but I'm still in it because I love baseball. I've loved baseball since I was a little kid, watching it with my Grandpa Morgan, sitting there in his living room watching the Detroit Tigers play. Fantasy baseball draft getting ready to start. What are you up to? I am so sad that draft season is over. I love draft time. I do love the drafts. We're underway. Who's it going to be first, fellas? Trey Turner. Do not take Aaron Judge. Do not take... You Blackwood Bombers, don't you take Aaron Judge. You... Okay. Well, there we are. So I can't be too sad because that gives me Jose Ramirez. I could look at Acuna Jr., but that's not really my speed. So it's Jose Ramirez. That's fine with me. I'll take Jose Ramirez all day long. And now, the wait. The wait. Well, look at that. Acuna didn't go until 5th this time around. Reasonable. Everybody's building the team that they want. Pete Alonso with the 10th pick. I understand going for someone like that early because if you're the 10th pick, that's a rough position. Those batters aren't getting back to you, and unless you want to take some pitchers, if you want bats, you got to go grab them. Soto, Bichette, Machado was 13th pick. And then Yordan Alvarez, 14. Now is where I would expect to see Corbin Burns and Garrett Cole start going. I'd like to... Wow, if Ohtani, the batter, gets back to me, that would be a coup. There goes Verlander and Fernando Tatis, and there finally goes Corbin Burns. I would expect Garrett Cole to go very soon. There went Ohtani the batter. Oh, by the way, when you draft Ohtani, you don't get his batting stats and his pitching stats. You have to draft him as a batter and then again as a pitcher if you want both sets of stats. I was watching, it was from Fantasy Gurus or something like that. I don't remember who it was. But this guy was talking, oh, I've drafted Shohei Ohtani. Now think about all the numbers. And I was like, you're doing a Yahoo League, fella. You only get either the batting if you draft batter or the pitching if you draft pitcher. He didn't draft both, but I think he thought he was getting both sets of stats. And he was like, woohoo! That's just not how it works. Coming up on my pick, and Mike Trout just went off the board. About normal, 20th pick. And Garrett Cole just got drafted. So my plan was to take Marcus Semien with this second pick, and that is what we're doing. So now we have Marcus Semien, Jose Ramirez, and our infield is coming along nicely. There's a very good chance I'll be taking a pitcher with my next pick here. And fellas, Spencer Strider got back to me. So we're going to go ahead and take Spencer Strider. I know that seems like a risky pick for a lot of folks. He only got 131 innings last year. But during that 131 innings, he had 202 strikeouts. So I'm counting on him having more innings this year. According to the projections from Yahoo's experts, he'll have 171 innings, and that seems reasonable to me. I'll take what he did last year, stretched out over 171 innings. That'll be an amazing season. Got Luis Robert went 28th, and Austin Riley went 29th. That's a good pickup on the 29th pick right there. That seems a little late for Riley to have gone, but that's a good pick for 29th pick. Now, do they start investing in pitchers? There's going to be a lot of folks who don't want to pick up a pitcher right here. They'll start stretching down this list. They'll be grabbing Matt Olsons and Nolan Arenados, or Teoscar Hernandez with the 30th pick. There goes Jacob deGrom. I'm scared of that injury risk out of deGrom. I am personally, I hope he is able to finish the season because that is an amazing talent. But I just worry that he's going to have problems with injuries again. So yeah, that was 3 pitchers in a row. deGrom, Ohtani, Aaron Nola. I wouldn't be surprised to see Shane McClanahan or Brandon Woodruff go next. And there went McClanahan. I hate the waiting part. I hate waiting. There went Matt Olson, who, by the way, in Grapefruit League play, he's led in home runs. He's had an amazing Grapefruit League, which is spring training. Matt Olson, and then Randy Arozarena. Shane Bieber, okay, that's a fine pick too. Nolan Arenado, Harris. Harris is going to have a good season for Atlanta too. And then Francisco Lindor, okay. I'm surprised we haven't seen either one of those closers go yet. There are no closers taken, and it's pick 41 coming up here. And Woodruff was finally taken with the 42nd pick. And then goes Corey Seager. Corey Seager's going to have a better season than he had, and he had a good season already. First reliever off the board, Emmanuel Clase with 43rd pick. All right, there, Mullins went, and we're coming up on my turn. We'll see who this fella takes. And he took Ozzie Albies, which means I can go after anything. I can take Kyle Schwarber for the home runs, Real Muto to have a catcher that fills in a lot of categories, Romano if I want a closer, Urias. There's a lot of options here. Of course, most of those options look like pitchers right now. That's okay. But I'm taking Kyle Schwarber because you know how I feel about home runs, and I'm getting that home run guy on my team. So after I went, Jazz Chisholm and then JT Realmuto. Reasonable. And now the suggested picks are all pitchers for some time. So, expect me to take my second pitcher. Pick 5, second pitcher, 3 great bats. Leave me Urias up there, fellas. Leave me Urias. Second closer off the board was Devin Williams and then Dylan Cease, which leaves me Urias, just as I was hoping for. You know why I like Urias? He plays for the Dodgers. That's a lot of run support and defensive support. So last year he had 17 wins. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't get 17 wins again. Romano finally went with the 54th pick, and Gausman was right before him. There went Zach Wheeler, Max Fried, Eloy Jimenez, Josh Hader, Christian Javier, and Ryan Presley. So they're really going after some closers now. And that works out fine for me, the way that my draft is going. Got Tim Anderson, then Robbie Ray. Now, Robbie Ray is a strikeouts guy in Seattle. The pitcher's park. That could be a great season for Robbie Ray right here. And we're back. Marte and Manoah and Luis Castillo were just taken. I've got a lot of options. I'm sitting here thinking about Dalton Varsho. Get that catcher position out of the way. I'm thinking about Zach Gallen, seriously thinking about Zach Gallen. And you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and take the Zach Gallen. That's 3 bats, 3 pitchers. Simeon, Ramirez, and Schwarber, Strider, Urias, and Gallen. So what are we looking at on the way back here, huh? What are we looking at, fellas? Oh my, Byron Buxton just went. So I guess I was looking at him, and I think I'm going to go ahead and make this happen with Dalton Varsho. So that was Bautista, Jimenez, and Xander Bogaerts. And Dansby Swanson went with the 80th pick, right after Adley Rutschman, Baltimore catcher. And in an interesting twist, Willy Adames just went with the 81st pick, right after Dansby Swanson. I had really hoped one of those would get back to me. But there are other players I can use because I have Simeon, who plays second base and shortstop, so I can look at a second baseman or look at a shortstop, and I'm filled in either way. Now this is that area, this round 8, 9, and 10 area. You're going to see me looking for some closers there if I haven't already grabbed any. Well, I haven't grabbed any, so I'm going to be looking at some closers here. Who are you taking, John? Standout team. Who are you taking? He took Pasquantino, first baseman from Kansas City. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Pasquantino. I'm not 100% sure. But now I'm looking at either Camilo Doval or Kenley Jansen. And, well, either one of them is considered the closer right now. Jansen did have a little lightheadedness. He suffers from AFib, and that got to him, so that could have been an issue. But we'll just go ahead. We'll take Kenley Jansen. I think he'll be fine for the season. There went Camilo Doval. But now I'm looking at, it could be Musgrove, it could be Clay Holmes for my next pick. I know I've got to get back into some bats, but that can wait for now. And we're back. Okay, well, I know what I'd like to do, and I think this would do wonders for my team, so I'm going to take Clay Holmes and go for that second closer. Well, Blake Snell just got taken 116th. I was going to take Blake Snell, and then I was going to focus on my bats. So now I have to change my plan. I could look at Logan Webb. Not exactly a strikeouts guy. I don't think I'm interested in Severino right now. Kyle Wright could have a heck of a year. What's Kyle Wright looking at? He'll start out on the injured list. Okay. Well, that's never a good sign. And I'm still looking at Kyle Wright. A lot of folks will ignore him because of that start on the injured list, but it's shoulder inflammation. Cortisone injection, so let's keep an eye on him. All right, what else could we possibly do? Joe Ryan was just taken, so folks are starting on some late pitchers. In the outfield, there's a couple of guys I'd like, but I can wait. I may take Gleyber Torres for a second baseman. And you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to take Gleyber Torres for a second baseman. Because I personally see he's going to get the play time. He's not exactly a monster in home runs, but depending on where he's in the batting order, he could have the RBIs, runs, he could catch some stolen bases, he'll bat a decent batting average. So I feel I can be confident with that pick. I'm happy with that pick. Well, I was hoping Christian Walker would come back around, but he was taken 137th. So that takes a first baseman off of my lists. I've been playing the waiting game with Kyle Wright here. Let's see if he gets one more pick to me. Okay, Kyle Wright made it back to me. I'm going to go ahead and take him and put him on the disabled list for a week. And then put him in my starting lineup after that. We look at some of these pitchers available left. We got Jesus Luzardo, Freddie Peralta, there's Dustin May, Pablo Lopez. I've got a lot that I can look at here still. So I need to grab a couple of these fellas. Because I don't have much left at bat. And yes, I know Luzardo plays for Miami, so there's not much offensive help. There's not much defensive help. The bullpen doesn't help a lot. But man, does he have good stuff. I'm sitting thinking about taking him right now. But what else do I need? I still need a first baseman. I suppose I could just go ahead and take an Anthony Rizzo. I mean, we're in the 13th round. I'll take an Anthony Rizzo. Well, folks, here's one I haven't seen happen often. Masataka Yoshida, the hard-hitting guy playing for Boston. He should be batting cleanup, and I'm going to go ahead and take him for my team because I think he's going to have a good season. I don't care what the projections say. He's going to get more than 131 hits. But if you go by the Baseball Classic, he's going to light up. What did he do in the World Baseball Classic? Boston, he went 9 for 22 with 2 home runs and 13 RBIs. But first things first, we're taking Pablo Lopez. Get some more of the pitching in there. We're waiting. And we're back to me, and now I'll take Yoshida. Taking a chance on the young player. Well, they just took Lang from Detroit, the closer, so now I'm looking over here at bats again. I was going to sneak in with a third closer, but that was taken out from under me. So we'll play the relievers game here. And I get this guy just took King from New York, who could take over the closing role, but they're sitting here leaving me Eugenio Suarez to put in my utility position, so I'm going to put him there. And now they're leaving, but well, Tellez has been on my radar quite a bit this year. But there's Brady Singer. I could take a chance on him having a better year. I mean, of course, I could always wait on Merrill Kelly. I could wait and pick up someone that could have a horrible season. Or I could wait and maybe take Tyler Anderson, who's going to be a fine player again this year. I mean, there's a lot here to look at, but I really like Rowdy Tellez being my other utility. So let's do that. And now we've cornered the market on home runs. Well. Coming back to me. And I like taking a chance on young bats, so I'm going to go with Joey Meneses, who plays first base and outfield for Washington. I'm taking that chance on that young bat. Okay, this is interesting. Comes back to me, and I'm kind of torn what to do with this pick, but I think I'm going to go ahead and take Jameson Taillon. I know it seems a little early to be taking him and whatnot, but you're right. It is a little early to be taking him. So let's look elsewhere. What's available at the young batters? JD Martinez is still there. There's some decent bats still around, especially the young bats. Instead of an army of pitchers on this one, I'm going to take an army of risking young bats. So let's take Josh Young. And it looks like I needed to grab Taillon if I wanted him on my team, because he just went almost back to me, but he did go before he got back to me. I still feel like I'm taking the chance on the young bats. And, well, I have plenty of teams where it's an army of pitchers. And this time, it's still going to be quite a few pitchers. I'm only going to have 2 bench bats. I'm not looking to put any more bats on my team. So these are all going to be pitchers at this point. I'll probably take Wisniewski as my next pitcher. And then I'll go after some relief pitchers, just a couple of relief pitchers to round everything out and fill in those quality innings that I need throughout the week. And here we go. So it'll be Hayden Wisniewski from Chicago. He didn't pitch much last year. He got 33 innings, but those 33 innings were pretty good. So I'm going to take a speculative pick here. And I'm hoping that he does what he did last year, just stretches that out across 130 to 150 innings. All right, let's start filling out the rest of this with some Adam Ottavino. That'll be some quality innings. And he may get some saves in the mix with Edwin Diaz being out and David Robertson is a potential injury. Not guaranteed that he's going to play very often. He is getting up there in age. I want to say he's 37. So Ottavino, who is also not exactly young, could get some save opportunities. It's my turn to pick, and I was just looking at a team here. Unorthodox Behavior has got 3 bench bats and 10 starting pitchers. So, obviously, he's playing the army of pitchers strategy. Doesn't affect me in this one. I'm looking at 2 more relievers. I'm thinking between Boxberger and Fulmer, because one of them will pick up saves in Chicago. And Adam Cimber and Colin McHugh, because they are quality setup guys who will grab some wins throughout the season. So I think I'll take Cimber from Toronto and go for the possible setup wins there. My final pick is coming up, and I'm not sure which one to take here. Boxberger, Fulmer, McHugh. Boxberger, better ERA and whip than Fulmer. Fulmer's whip has always been ridiculous. Boxberger only had 1 save all of last year, though he didn't get many opportunities for that. And McHugh has a better ERA and whip than both of them. So this is take a chance on seeing if Boxberger will catch saves. I think, it's a tough one. Okay, Fulmer's out of there. We'll take Fulmer out. Between Boxberger and McHugh for my final pick. Boxberger or McHugh? Boxberger or McHugh? Chance on saves. Strikeouts, ERA, and whip. Saves. Take a chance on saves. All right, and it is done. That was my final pick. And I went with Brad Boxberger. A little different than what I would normally do. All right, so I got Cupcake here with me. How are you, old girl? And let's take a look at what my team looks like. Let's take a look. All right, so let's take a look at what my team looks like. Varsho, Rizzo, that would be Gleyber Torres, Jose Ramirez, Marcus Semien, Kyle Schwarber, Anthony Santander, Masataka Yoshida, Gleyber Torres, Eugenio Suarez, Rowdy Tellez, Joey Meneses, and Josh Young. With Spencer Strider, Julio Urias, Kenley Jansen, Clay Holmes, Zach Gallen, Kyle Wright, Pablo Lopez, Hayden Wisniewski, and then relievers Adam Ottavino, Adam Simber, and Brad Boxberger. So I'm feeling pretty good about this team being a playoff team. I'm not out. My goal is not to try to finish first place for the regular season. It's to finish first place in the postseason. So goal number 1 is make the playoffs. This definitely looks like a playoff team. This should be 4th place, maybe 5th place in the regular season if things go normal. If some of these young bats perform as good as they could, if Tellez, Meneses, Young, or Masataka Yoshida, they could just go off. We don't know what Young, Meneses, and Yoshida are going to look like. So, this is my final draft. Random City Sports Ballers, letter C, because it's a $100 league. And it looks like a playoff team again. I'm happy with the results on this. I'm actually very happy with the results on this one. Now, this draft, there are some risks in this draft. Yoshida, Meneses, Young. How about Kyle Wright? How about Hayden Wisniewski, Pablo Lopez? There are some risks that I took, but I'm willing to take those risks because risk versus reward. If I get the reward that it is expected reward, that's glorious. If they do better than the expectation, wow, I'm suddenly moving up into possibly 2nd place for the regular season. And it's a long season, so it's going to be a long time before we know what happens. But I did take a lot of risk on young players, especially these young bats. And I'm okay with that. So, above all else, I had a fun draft. Everything didn't go exactly as I wanted to. I sure would like to have had Dansby Swanson or Willy Adames, but boy, when they went 80 and 81st right in there, that blew that all up. So we had to make an adjustment. We made an adjustment, and that put Marcus Semien into my shortstop position instead of second base, and that's fine. Gleyber Torres takes up that second base position. I'm fine with that. That works out really well. I'm going to be happy with it. And I had fun. And that's the whole goal of this entire thing. Have fun. So thanks for joining in on this, my final draft. We look forward to the regular season beginning in just a couple of days. And good luck in your draft out there. Don't forget, you got to adjust on the fly. Don't be scared. Make the adjustments you have to make. Take it slow. Look at what you can grab later on. Not everything is going to go the way you want it to. But the one thing that will go the way exactly how you want it to is having fun. Right on, fellas. Good luck. Regular season is coming up.